What happens when you take 13 of Saskatchewan's best and most creative chefs, along with a room full of local celebrities from the worlds of arts, politics, and entertainment, and introduce them to 17 dedicated organic farmers and the exceptional products they produce. Where you might just get yourself an invitation to dining with the stars.
Hello Jean, hello Rory. Thanks for taking our invitation for tomorrow night. I think it's going to be exciting. Milton has put a pretty nice menu together for the evening.
What we did is, instead of making a menu and then looking for suppliers, what we did is we waited for the ingredients to come in. We sourced it out from all local producers, and then we came up with the menu. And then I had a few extra stuff. Then we put canapes and amuse bush, and then we went on. So it was not very easy finding the stuff, especially in this winter season. But there was a lot of enthusiasm with the local producers, and I'm going to be working with them more now that I have the contact information and somewhere to start from. The enthusiasm from them was, that is, the passion is from them, especially Don. I mean, I spoke with him for a good hour, and then you speak with one of them, and then they put you on with another one, and they say, have you tried this? Have you tried this from the other supplier? And what I see is there's a big unity there. That's the best part. And they have a lot of enthusiasm. I mean, most of this is dedicated to them more than anything else. So what we did was, we have an amuse bush where we have a pumpkin latte. It's more of like a coffee, but we're doing pumpkin and cinnamon. They go very well. And then we got trout is a local fish here, and we get as fresh as I receive it in the morning and serve it in the evening. So we are making a smoked trout tata on a sunflower cuisine. And the next course that's where we actually start. It's cucumber wrapped winter greens, and it's going to have gooseberries and candied sunflower seeds. And we got raspberry vinaigrette, which is from puree, which actually Marian had it in a freezer, so she brought it to us yesterday. Then we have a local mushroom, chantel and wild mushroom ravioli, and then we're making our own we are making our own cheese, which we're going to infuse with tarragon, and then we're going to have a nice little garlic sauce with it. The next course is just to clean the palate. Between the next course, we got cherry and ice wine sorbet. Well, you should try the cherry juice to start with. It's very clean, nice. It's a little strong, but lovely. And it goes very well with the sorbet. Initially we tried to pair it up with champagne, but I think ice wine goes much better. And the fourth course is our special. As I was telling you, it's my grandma's recipe. What we did was we took lamb. Lamb has a very strong flavor, but what we do is if you infuse it with few of Indian spices, with garam masala, just the right amount. And we got splentel. Splentel is a mixture of there's two lentils, that is yellow, red and green, and then they've got spelt in it, so that's why it's named splentel. And then we got what you do is we cook the lamb, it's ground lamb, and we encase it with heritage potatoes. They're yellow potatoes, and then we have a sweet sour savory sauce. It's a chili tomato sauce, and we have potato shavings on the top, so just to give it a texture. And then the fifth course, that's the main course, is beer braised beef. That's organic again, and it's going to have a Saskatoon berry jus, which is accompanied with barley risotto and maple roasted veg. And of course the finale, the best is apples, which are local again, which have been previously frozen, and we are serving it. It's an upside down pie, and it's going to be served with vanilla infused goat milk cheese ice cream.
Chef Milton, I've I've heard the word infused before. I don't know exactly what it means. Could you explain that to me? Infusion? Yeah.
Infused means what we do is just give a hint of it, just to give a little bit of touch, and it changes the taste of it totally. We don't want to overpower the product, but by just giving it a little bit of, we call it scented kind of. So when it's back of your palate, you get the taste. So it's not strong.
I've had lamb a few times, but it wasn't to my taste, so I'm looking forward to, after your explanation of how you're going to cook it, I'm looking forward to a really tasty lamb.
Well, I think playing on the offensive line, of course we like a lot of food, but we're kind of the behind the scenes guys. We're the kind of meat and potato type of guys. We do all the grunt work on the team. That's my position on the Rough Riders, so I think that kind of fits in with the beef and the potato lamb stuff, and of course, especially after a win, we like to have a beer or two, so that will help make it kind of an O-line supper. And,
did you say or two?
Yeah, well, depends on when we win. And a lot of the guys actually, we like to go ice fishing too, so trout are kind of tough to catch, but we're gonna have a chance to eat those. So those are a few things that might make this a Rider O-line dinner.
Well, a lot of the food is organic, and of course, both Gene and I we're organic to Saskatchewan. Yeah. And I'm looking at the smoked trout, and of course, smoked always means fire. And what I do for a living, you know, I am a hunk of burning love sometimes. You know, some of the shows, and I am just so looking forward to every course the way you've set it up, because you set it up this way for a reason, and it's nice because I think your cuisine is going to reign supreme. I do gospel, I do rock and roll, I do country music, and rhythm and blues. But at the end of the night in the concert, it all comes together, and people seem to like it. So I think we're going to love this, and I'm looking forward to seeing the best tasting lamb I've ever had.
Boy, this just looks so good. Of course, I haven't had a chance to experience a lot of what's on the menu, so I'm excited just to try something different. And this is such a great opportunity, and to have organically grown or organically originated is certainly exciting, and something I haven't honestly given a lot of thought to in my purchases, but I think it's certainly something to think about, and so again, look forward to it, can't wait.
It's just you'd think coming into the Hotel Sask there'd be this air of people, but just a really, really great guy. Looking forward to eating your food, and you know, you're kind of a guy that would help with the recipe, you know. If I wanted to do some of this at home, you'd probably give me a few tips, right? See, that's awesome. You don't get that every day. You know, Gordon Ramsay wouldn't do that.
I'd probably ask you for recipes that you have.
Uncontrolled legitimate growth. Yeah. Need that. Uncontrolled cell growth. And this is important.
We do the casinos and look amazing. Oh yeah. Hey, this is my best side.
To repeat what I just said, as far far as the service is concerned, we'll be serving.
Well, thank you, Lord, for this opportunity to just get together and eat some great food with some great Saskatchewan people. Thank you so much for the wonderful country and the province that we live in. Thank you so much for all the work that's been done here. I just pray that you bless everyone that did the work, bless the hands that prepared the food. Thank you for Chef Milton, and just give him strength tonight. I know he's probably a little nervous, and we just thank you so much for all we have and this great, great table of great people. We thank you so much in your name. Amen.
Firstly, I want to thank everybody for giving us the opportunity. And yeah, a little nervous, but we'll get better.
I didn't know you were back there.
I was hiding. Okay. Well, we have 7 courses totally, and it's all local Saskatchewan products. And actually, it's an honor to be a part of this, and for our hotel as well. We are going in that direction. We want to do everything healthy and organic, and this is a perfect opportunity. Thank you. Well, what we have for the first course, I mean, this is an amuse-bush. What we have is a trout, smoked trout tartare. We infused it with, my favorite words, infused with jalapeno and onions and a little bit of lemon. And we have our pumpkin latte, which we have, all we did was cinnamon stick just to give it a little bit of hint of cinnamon. So enjoy.
This whole event is part of an attempt to create awareness of local and organic food, but it's also to make those relationships and connections between producers and the people who want to buy their food.
I saw the menu yesterday, so I guess I have an advantage on most people here, but I'm really excited. I know Chef Milton is excited too. He's put a lot of work into it, and I certainly appreciate that. And thanks so much for having us here. Thanks for the producers for what you do for our province, but also for the food we're about to eat. So thank you.
My idea of a good time is definitely a 7-course meal with the wines that go with it. So I'm really looking forward to tonight, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be here, particularly to try some local produce.
I'm looking forward to the friendship and fellowship of the evening tonight, as well as the terrific food that's being presented.
This is awesome. It's trout, is it not? Trout? It's awesome. Smoked trout. Can you get any better than that? And I just want to thank the producers and all the folks from the government agencies and everything else that are here, because we have to invest in Saskatchewan, and that's why we still live here and do our show from here, and because it's the best place to be in the whole world.
It's great to be here. I attended the event in Banbury House as well, and so I have high expectations, and I know they will be fulfilled. And when I heard that Hazel and David Tanner were here tonight, I couldn't stay away, so it's a pleasure to see you again.
We're honored tonight because we have 2 stars here that we're all familiar with in stardom. But we have 5 stars here tonight that you may not be familiar with, and that is our 5 producers who have joined us for this evening, and they're people who have contributed their food to our dinner.
My name is Bob Belfer. I'm an organic farmer. I farm 800 acres southeast of Regina here, about 35 miles. I've been doing it for 20 years. Thank you. I also have a small milling company, R&J Milling, which I supply people like Milton, a number of restaurants around town, as well as some bakeries and to local customers that I have developed over those 20 years, developing a nice network, helping people eat locally, eat healthy.
I'm Wes Labrash. My wife and I farm organically just outside of Lumsden. We have some vegetables, poultry, and a greenhouse.
Hi, I'm Dean Kreitzer.
Good start.
Thank you. I have an organic fruit orchard by Lumsden. I grow apples, apricots, grapes, cherries, apricots, yeah, and even some strange items like peaches and nectarines and European plums, stuff you don't normally find in Saskatchewan.
Anyways, I'm Don, and I'm seeing people that I'm going to be seeing again and more often. Why I'm here is to help promote Saskatchewan Organic Directorate, promote local vegetables growing, and also to see, and I've been very, very surprised and very, very pleased to see what chefs can do with the stuff we produce.
I'm David Tanner, and we are a producer, organic producer, and we farm just west of Regina with my wife Hazel. And we have supplied some of the produce that we will be trying out tonight. And we just look forward to the evening with meeting new people and other producers also. I'm David Tanner, and this is my wife Hazel, and we operate Purity Organics outside of Regina. Being organic, we don't use chemicals or fertilizers. We use a buffer strip around our property or around our fields to prevent any contamination.
I'm passionate about organics and farming, particularly organics especially, because I really believe that it's the healthy, sustainable way to continue. For some it's a passion, for some it's a job. And I really believe that for us it's a lifestyle. Dave was the eldest of the four altogether siblings, and his dad was still farming, of course. The others were younger, and when we were married, Dave knew he wanted to farm. That was his heart and his passion, and we weren't sure. We didn't want to live in the city, and we were blessed that there was an older couple living here on this farm who had no family, and they were living in the city in the winter, still lived here in the summer, had kept it up beautifully, and they agreed to sell us the farm, which was, it just was absolutely a miracle. It gave us such a beautiful start, and they didn't have to do that. It was just wonderful. So already part of our support, part of our beginning was just their generosity and their timing. I think perhaps this was part of my concern for several years earlier in the 80s, 90s, the way chemicals were taking over our lives. And I remember thinking we struggled to keep the seed plant going, sometimes almost all night, all day, most of the night. And we were not making enough profit in the seed plant to pay for the chemical and fertilizer. And so it took Dave from 1994 to 98, fall of 98, to decide that we could do that. He could do that. He could handle what people thought about the weeds.
What would our neighbors think, or how would we be ostracized in the community? And we were.
And could we do it well enough to eventually?
But I'm stubborn enough to keep going ahead and.
We realized it was right.
Next couple of years, it was a learning process through that, and knowing this is how God intended us to farm. You know, after coming through the conventional farming, and you have one single desk seller, you sell all your product through an elevator, and now we're having to search out our markets. It's not easy. Everybody is looking for Saskatchewan end use or to buy, whereas the world you have to look at the world instead of just locally, and maybe that's where I am a little weak at.
I think as times change and the industry grows and improves, that it will become easier. I can see that it's much easier than it was for my brother 20 years ago when he began. There was a very limited organic markets. That was a pioneering era. We've been able to learn some things from him as well. I think one of our concerns has been all along that things were posing as organic, products were posing as organic. There was not a clarity between organic and natural. And I think that's part of our job as producers, is to be clear about that in our own minds, know what we produce, be happy, be proud of what we produce, and make that distinction clear to the consumer and the chef that this product is pure. There is no preservative, there is no additive. that you don't know about. And I believe that the new regulations as far as labeling and as far as the Canadian standard are going to make a big difference, because I think consumers have been very confused about what really they were getting. And I think because we have that audit trail and that ability to source it, to trace it back, that's a consolation, or that's for the chef to know he can count on that. And we're blessed to have the European certification. I really believe that once the Canadian standard is in place, and that has helped so much, because Canada was almost an embarrassment. It couldn't decide on the new regulations. It went on for a year or two, three, and it made the industry in Canada look very disorganized, very ununified, and the world was beginning to look at that, and Canadian product wasn't accepted like it should have been for the quality it was. What do we see as a vision for the future? What would we do if we could say this is what we'd like on our farm? For me, I would say we would like to establish and create and to continue to make this farm that we've been so blessed to receive into a place that would be a blessing not only to us, but to friends and neighbors, our family who comes after us, to leave a legacy of farming that we could really say we had felt we had accomplished what God wanted us to be here for.
To be able to pass, like Hazel said, a legacy off onto our children, that we've kept it up and sustained, or kept the soil in good growing conditions. And
we're passionate about it because we see that that's the only way that we can preserve not only the health of a people, ourselves, our families, and of a nation, but that it's the only way that environmentally this world can continue.
We sell, especially our veggie mix, some spelt product, lentils.
Pure Tea organic products are available at Nature's Best Organic Market on 14th Avenue in Regina, and also at Eat Healthy Foods on 12th Avenue. We're growing and branching out in our products, and we have available to sell now at Nature's Best Organics the 25 kg bags of spelt, and also Dave has developed a veggie mix, or veggie burger mix, and that has been well received at both those organic stores.
And this summer we started at the Regina Farmers Market in front of City Hall Wednesdays and Saturday mornings, and there it continues until first part of October. Then we move indoors at the Cathedral Centre.
You know, in a lot of cultures, you're not considered a friend of someone unless you sit down and actually have a meal with them. What we've done here, really, as Marion said, is created a kind of a community. And food is a great thing to do that around, because, you know, food represents more than just taste. There's color, there's texture, there's aroma, and it kind of loosens us up, you know, the food and the wine, and gets us kind of talking, you know, takes our mask down. When you think about food, if you think about lamb, for instance, immediately you think about New Zealand. You know, if you think about mustard, you think about Dijon, which is a city in France. Well, I'm just starting to learn now about some of this incredible food that's available right here. Wouldn't it be so great if when people thought about spelt or cherries, they thought about Lumsden or just outside of Regina? Imagine if we could build specific world-renowned brands around the products, food products that we were creating here, and inspired people to actually come here, check out our culture, get to know and become a part of our community, and contribute to the economic growth and development that's happening here.
You've done an outstanding job, and it's really great to see this kind of quality, this kind of caring in preparation of really good food.
There's a lot of things going on in this province that I had no idea were going on in this province, and that's fantastic.
They say we are what we eat, and they're right.
Who knew in Regina, Saskatchewan, you could grow cherries, you could grow peaches? If somebody told me that, I would have said you're nuts.
The privilege of traveling throughout England, the English countryside with the Minister of Health, and as a guest of the National Health Services in England. And the highlight of the trip was to go to a very old 11th century monastery and have the chefs cook a fabulous 5-course meal for us. And I have to tell you that tonight, the meal and the pairing of the wines with the meal far exceeded what we saw there. And I think about the ambience of the room and the fact that we're in one of the oldest buildings here in Regina. So often we are led to believe that we don't have heritage. We do, and we have heritage, we have culture, and we have something that we can all go home and be proud of.
It has been so good. Everything I tasted, the smells, the aromas, the taste, and all I can say is thank you very much. It was a wonderful evening.
I wish the rest of the province could share this with us.
Chef, I just want to say that you're a real person. Normally you get a chef of your caliber and they're snooty, you can't talk to them. They're jerks in the kitchen, they're screaming, they're throwing stuff. Is he like that? No, I didn't think so. You made me actually like lamb tonight.
I'll carry this memory of tonight with me for a very long time.
People need to be coming here to see what we have and eat what we have and enjoy the entertainment we have, and we should not be bashful about that at all, because it's our time.
You have done more than the best with what was available. Like, you have really outdone yourselves. Our compliments to Chef David as well, and all of the others, and Jamie and Gaetan. You're really on the right track, and not only do we appreciate this evening, but we appreciate what you're doing for organics.
Love, passion, and sacrifice creates a meal that rejuvenates people, is a balm to their souls, and broadens their horizons.